फिर कहे को सारी उमरिया, फिर कहे को सारी उमरिया, बात की गठरी धोई सुख से सब साथी दुख में न
Let's go.
Can you put on this one, right?
Papi, never you get my right to do, Papi. You get my right. I get back to your money, papi. I get back to your papi.
Old man, children, let's do the roll. key?
All on the outside. All on the outside. All on the outside.
Yeah.
I'll give you half a second.
Nice. None, not yet. Boys. Salam ready bagi itu.
Kalau kami cari di sana. Aja.
Where's Kyle?
Let's what I'm waiting. Yes, what I'm waiting.
Naburam.
Yeah. Oh, see it now? Or is it still blurry? Oh. Oh, it's still. Which one? This one blurry. I don't know which one. Is it this one? This one? This? Which one? This one? No, they keep videoing one.
Tradition. I have to do it. When you want to present a tradition. Wonder. Oh, because lines are divided, we can can't leave so that we know the ceremony. Traditional good. So everything is that. Yeah, they go up to and then I do a little thing when they walk in the media. It doesn't mean a big ceremony yet. No, it's a no, don't hide the car, the bucket. No, there's one 5 times and then do the thing. It doesn't belong.
This is color one. That's a live one. This is on the tree. Come on. That's how much just salad.
Sinanan, good morning, everyone.
Shana, come give people, come.
All right. So since
Go in a circle, eh?
yeah. So since the panel isn't here yet, we would like to start the attendees. You can start to view our Papa. So we would like you all to very mannerly, in a line. You can come around, look at him, pay respects, and whichever way is comfortable. If you want to come this way, and you turn, you do pay respects, and then you can go back and sit. Yeah, because when Baba comes, then the ceremony will begin, and when we start to pass arti, because it's such a large family, it's going to be cumbersome, right? So those of you who would like to view the body and pay respects, you can start, Auntie. You can start from this way and row by row, right?
Right.
Thank you.
Mami Charan, if we could go and stand up over there because people want to go down, so just sit down. Shalini, you go over there. So people will go down and pass it to sit down. Okay. So we need to come, go over there.
What are you doing? You want to probably, but when your phone ring, I go come over that, you know. So when you're ready, the Bluetooth there. All right.
वीर शबरी के जैसे खिलाते Keisha अच्युतं केशवं कृष्ण दामोदरं रामनारायणं जानकी वल्लभम् कौन कहते हैं भगवान खाते नहीं वीर शबरी के जैसे खिलाते नहीं अच्युतं केशवं कृष्ण दामोदरं रामनारायणं जानकी वल्लभम् अच्युतं केशवं कृष्ण दामोदरं रामनारायणं जानकी वल्लभम् याद आएंगे उनको कभी ना कभी कृष्ण दर्शन तो देंगे कभी ना कभी अच्युतं कृष्ण दामोदरम राम नारायणं जानकी अच्युतं केशवं कृष्ण दामोदरम् राम नारायणं जानकी वल्लभम् कौन कहते हैं भगवान आते नहीं
I didn't know what to do in the hospital. But I wrote it and I prayed. That's what I had. You know, अच्युतं केशवं कृष्ण दामोदरं राम नारायणं
Testing.
Sitaram, everyone, once again. All right, so the pandit is on his way. It's a bit delayed. So to save on time, we will say our eulogies to save on time, as I said, right? So I'm going to start first. Sitaram, everyone. My name is Shalini Samri, and I'm the eldest granddaughter of the late Sooklal Sinanan, also known as my papa. Papa was born on November 12, 1942, to the late Bisoon and Lakpatia Sinanan. He grew up in the village of Karapu. He attended Arima Boys RC School and spent his boy days playing in the village of Karapu. Lo and behold, at the age of 23, he met my grandmother, Darling. I remember asking my papa at my aunt's Vashti's house in Florida in 2014, Christmas of 2014, we took a vacation together. And I asked Papa, where you meet my grandmother? He laughed out and carefully he said, they used to meet at Peeps by the bridge across the road. They eventually got married and their love produced 7 wonderful children. Papa worked hard. I remember my mother Susie telling me that her father used to cut logs and they would manually carry these logs across the river. Papa's pride was being able to marry each one of his children, and as you can see in the pamphlet, the middle page is filled with pictures of each one of his children's weddings. And very proudly, he stood next to them. To his children and grandchildren, he was an advisor and right-hand person. He was the king of talks. Every time we met up, every time I meet this man, I would call out to him and say, old man. And he would look at me and say, yeah, you wouldn't get old. Street smart is the word I would use to describe my grandfather. His children and wife doted on him and made sure he was cared for. He loved his grandchildren and great-grandchildren, and surprisingly, this man always had a sixth sense. He always knew when one of his children or grandchildren was pregnant. Even before the news was shared, he would tell Mama, darling, one of them girl pregnant. Then the next week, maybe next week, couple days, oh, Mama, you know, having a baby. I tell you so, darling. He was a funny guy. He loved nice food, and he was an avid card player. I remember as a child coming up here, not even, not very, very long ago, and coming up here and asking Mama, Mama, where Papa going? And she would say, he going to university, he going to get his degree. Cards. He offered sound advice when needed and gave every girl in our family the talk. From the monthly talk to don't let anyone touch you here, don't let anyone touch you there, not even me. He will be missed dearly. Our sweet Papa has gone to shut-eye country. He called this shut-eye country, as he would call it, and he would forever live in our hearts and exist in our memories. We will all meet up one day, my Papa, and when we do, I will give you that blue $1 you always jokingly ask for. Sleep well, my Papa. We love you always. Thank you. Okay, so I have another eulogy, and this is from my cousin from Florida, so I'm going to play it so everyone can just listen in.
Sitaram, everyone. On behalf of Vashti and all the family in the U.S., we would like to share this message. Papa has lived a life full of joy and happiness. He was a man who worked so hard to provide a life for all 7 of his children and his beloved wife, Radha, as everyone knows her as Dalin. He loved the opportunity to spend time with his grand and great-grandchildren. He was also an amazing brother, brother-in-law, uncle, and friend. We are all able to stand today because he prevailed and lifted us up. We are also sorry we couldn't get the chance to be there today, to hold your hand, give you one last kiss, to bow at your feet, and to say our final goodbye. I was the only grandchild who didn't get to spend as much time with you, but I will cherish our memories we have had forever. We will always remember the time Mommy bought you a new pair of shoes and ended up getting it a half size too small, 7.5 to be exact. Instead of telling us it wasn't the right size, you kept holding onto the wall, trying to squeeze your foot in to make it fit, which in the end, you made it fit. It goes to show how you care more about making your loved ones happy, whether it meant giving them the shoes off your feet or squeezing your foot in to make it fit. There are many amazing stories I could go on with, but we all know the type of person Papa was. Papa, I hope you're at peace and just know that everyone loves you. You made a huge impact on a lot of people's lives and you should be proud. Your love for us was unconditional and it was greater than any force I have seen in my life. May it always carry on through generations to come. Mommy will be home soon, Papa, and she will get to be with everyone. She loves you entirely. One day your Chinese will meet you again with the blue $1 in my hand. You will always be in our hearts. We love you so much. Rest in peace, Papa.
Good morning to all. This is a brief message from myself, Mukesh, Jaso, and family. Papa was like a second father to all of us. He showed great concern if he knew we were ill or going through any difficulties. I had the pleasure of visiting him almost every day. He would be sitting on his favorite chair or lying on his bed calling, "Darling, bring some grapes or an apple for Minna." As I counted to 5, she would appear with a dish full of grapes and apples for all of us. His famous saying was, "Take me to Allen's," whenever she told him to go to the doctor, because he didn't want to go. Then he would tell me he wanted a blue dollar note, scratches, kisses, back scratch, foot scratch, the works. When we were liming together, I would joke with him about, "I'm sure you're missing sitting by the market watching the ladies passing by, eh?" And he would laugh very hard. I must mention that he was a famous bird caller. Every day he called this bird very loudly, and lo and behold, the bird answered and came up close. It was his joy. He loved doing this. I had the opportunity to pray with him before he left for the hospital, and he prayed with me. He was truly a blessing. To his family, take courage, live his love, cherish his beautiful memories. Papa, this is not goodbye, but this is until we meet again in heaven. We love you and we will miss you dearly.
एक बार बोलो श्री वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय, कृष्ण चंद्र भगवान की जय. My dear friends, could we all please stand as we offer prayer for the soul. Lord Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita reminds us that the soul is eternal, everlasting, ancient. Even though the body dies and disintegrates, that soul remains eternal. We offer prayer that, Lord, today, as we invite your blessings for this Atma, the soul, this eternal force, to bless and protect the soul. Hari Om Sriya Pavitra Va Sarvashtangatopi Va Yashmareti Punrikangshe Sabhyantara Suchinama Yang Brahma Varunindra Rudra Maruta Stunwanta Devya Istavede Vede Sangha Padakramopanishadai Gayanti Yam Samagha Hari Om Dhyana Vashtita Tadgatena Manusa Pashanti Yam Yogino Yasyang Tang Navidu Sura Suragana Devaya Tashmai Namo Namam He Ramam Purushotamam Narhare Narayanam Keshava Govinda Garadhuja Gunanidhe Damodara Madhava He Krishna Kamalapate Yadupate Sitapate Sripate Vaikuntadipate Characharpate Lakshmi Pate Pahimam Ram Rameti Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Shahasranama Tatulyam Rama Nama Varanane Ramaya Ramachandraya Ramachandraya Vedase Raghunathaya Nathaya Sitaye Pate Nama Om Namo Narayanaya Krishnaya Govindaye Namo Namam Om Namo Paramatmane Nama Om Dhau Shantir Antarikshagam Shanti Prithvi Shanti Rapa Shanti Roshadhe Shanti Banaspate Shanti Brahm Shanti Sargam Shanti Shanti Reva Shanti Shama Shanti Riddhi Shubh Shanti Kalyana Mangal Bhotu Nama Anadhino Dhane Deva Sankachakra Gadadhara Aksha Pundari Kangsham Preta Moksha Pradobhava Om Namo Narayanaya Paramatmane Namaha Vrindavan Krishna Chandra Bhagwan Ki Jai. I invite all to join with me in a short bhajan, Jai Krishna Hare. All who know it, please join with me. Jai Krishna Hare, Sri Krishna Hare, Dukhiyon ko dukh dur kare. Jai 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 Krishna Hare, O Jai Krishna Hare, Sri Krishna Hare, Dukhiyon ko dukh dur kare. Jai जब चारों तरफ अंधियारा हो आशा का दूर किनारा हो जब चारों तरफ अंधियारा हो आशा का दूर किनारा हो और कोई न खेवन वाला हो फिर तो ही बेड़ा पार करो जय 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 कृष्ण ओ जय कृष्ण हरे श्री कृष्ण हरे दुखियों को दुख दूर करे जय 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 कृष्ण हरे जय 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 कृष्ण हरे वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय. Please take your seats. Thank you. Devaki Nandanaya cha, go wrong. Just keep. Om Hiranyagarbha Samavartatage Bhuta Sajata Patrekhyasi Saradhar Mala. You give all of them boys one mala. Hiranyagarbha Samavartatage Bhuta Sajata Patrekhyasi Saradhar. Take your time because it is easy to know. Okay. Saradhara Pritvidhamyate Mankashmai Devai. Put it on. Take a mala. Hold it right. Sri Krishna Kushalam Karotu Bhavatu Data Pradayani Tatsat Harihi Om Yang Brahma Vedanta Vido Vadanti Parampradhanam Purushanta Tanye Vishwadgate Karana Ishwaraya Tashmai Namo Vighna Vinashanayam Tatsat Harihi Om Namo. Paramanandam Krishnam Bande Jagat Guru Rama Rameti Rameti Rame Rame Manurame Shahasranama Tatulyam Rama Nama Varanane Ramaya Ramachandraya Ramachandraya Vedase Raghunathaya Nathaya Sitaye Pate Nama Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Harihi Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namam Tatsat Harihi Om. One more. He Ramam Purushottamam Narhare Narayanam Keshava Govinda Garudhaja Gunanidhe Damodara Madhava. He Krishna Kamalapate Yurupate Sitapate Sripate Vaikuntharipate Charachar Pate Lakshmi Pate Pahimam. Continue. Touch by the foot forward 3 times. Everybody. Just be careful. Touch by the foot and I'll go ahead and sit down for 2 minutes. Take a seat. My dear devotees, my dear friends, what we are taking part in this morning is one of the realities of this existence. In the Ramayana, we are reminded Bare Bhagya Manushatana Power, meaning that, let me sit down because I kind of get a little old. All I don't mind. Right, take everybody have to pass through this process. Nobody is leaving this world alive. And that alone, my dear friends, that alone is a wake-up call to us all. To check up on yourself, to find out, well, are you doing the right thing? what you have come in God's world to do, and are you pursuing that objective? Because this is one of the failures of the human race, that we are looking for shortcut and the shortest possible. Since we come in this world and we take our first breath, we start looking for something they call happiness. And that will end when we're in this position, the last final breath when we take. And that search for happiness, my dear friends, I would give you the secret this morning. The search for happiness is total and unconditional surrender to God. Very important, I would repeat it. The way to happiness, the way to true happiness, the way to real happiness is when you are able to truly and unconditionally surrender yourself to God. So long as you keep God away from your life, the ego is in charge, and the ego dictates to you in the wrong direction. Bhagavad Gita tells us, Dharma Chetre Kurukse Samvita Mamaka Pandavashvekim Kuruvantu Sanjaya, that this world that we are living in is a battlefield. And the battle is between God and Satan, good and bad. And your karma, you are the participants of the battle. You are the army, you are the soldiers. Whichever side you choose to defend and protect and promote, that is the direction of your life. Meaning, if you take the things that God prescribed for you and you do the things according to your scriptures, then your life will always be peaceful, happy, loving, and successful. If you abandon God and decide to choose the satanic activities, then your life is always in chaos and disaster and trouble. Think what I'm saying this morning, my dear friends. You have the freedom to choose. You have the freedom of choice. You choose what your scriptures dictate, be guided by your scriptures, by the activities of your scriptures, your devotion and dedication to God, and your life is always peaceful and happy and loving. When you choose the activities that are prescribed by Satan, everybody has sense, everybody has knowledge. That is why God gave us a brain to think and make choices and make decisions. When we do the things that are prescribed by Satan, our life is always in trouble, in problems, in disarray, disaster. Karma Pradhana Vishwakara Rakha. We are responsible for our deeds, our action. You know, sometimes people blame God. They say, Baba, you know, God punishing me. No. God don't punish nobody. We are the architects of our own destiny. Bhagavad Gita tells you, you are your best friend and you can be your worst enemy. Karma is the fuel to direct that direction of life. I want to share with you a short message that Swami Sadhguru said just a few days ago on YouTube. He said that the human race is the weakest it has ever been in the history of humanity. The weakest physically, intellectually, and spiritually. I wanted to digest this morning, my dear friends. The human race is at its weakest physically, intellectually, and spiritually. Now, what is meant by that? What is meant by that? I am 76 years old now. And growing up as a child, you would hear when people reach 60 or 70, then they talk about diabetes and heart condition and high blood pressure and kidney and heart and whatever and whatever and whatever. Would you believe now 5-year-olds have diabetes? Would you believe 5-year-olds wearing glasses? What are we doing to ourselves? What are we doing to our DNA, our genetic makeup? Intellectually, we are the weakest. Growing up as a child, grew up in a grocery, and people would drop the copybook with the goods list, and 20 pound of flour, 10 pound of rice, 5 pound of dal, 2 bottles of oil, and I would take my pencil and run through, bam, and think. Sometimes as I dishing out goods, I'm checking in my mind the total. Now if somebody have two, would you believe people don't know their own phone numbers now? That to tell you how they're losing it. And Einstein says you either you use it or you lose it, and people are losing their mind. So physically, they are weaker, and they are the weakest intellectually. People, they depend on the phone. Everything, you ask them something, and they reach for the phone. That's their brains now. My dear friends, think what you're doing to yourself. Think what we are doing to ourselves. Spiritually, my dear friends, we are the weakest. I remember as a child growing up, you go to puja, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, puja start, 2, 3 o'clock, puja still going on. Nobody else stoops in and getting vexed and watching the time and grumbling. Now if the Baba take an extra 15 minutes, everybody looking at the time and Baba hurry up now, my belly grumbling. Spiritually, my dear friends, we are at the weakest. We are looking for the easiest way out, and that is, the easiest way is not the best way. We are doing a great disservice to ourselves. We are doing a great disservice to our generations to come. We are eating the wrong types of foods. Only this morning somebody came to me with belly problems. And I started explaining that Hinduism prescribes that you don't eat so much meat. You are eating too much meat, and that meat, you see, when you eat meat, it takes 4.5 hours to go through the digestive process. When you eat vegetable, it takes 1.5 hours to process, to break down. So the body requires additional acid to break down that meat, and therefore the acid remains in your system, and it causes ulcerated stomach, heartburn, stomach burn, whatever you call it. Eventually it would end up in your bloodstream, in your joints, and then you have stiff joints, swollen joints, pain. My dear friends, we are going down a very slippery slope in terms of our management and conduct of life. Everything that we do has a consequence. The number of years I have come to know this family, I'm very close to all the children, grandchildren, the family. They have lived a life of dharma, they have lived a life of righteousness. I share great respect for them, and they share great respect for me. And this is how a family is supposed to live. That is how a family is supposed to bond together, live together as a family. Sometimes have 2, 3 children, and this one I'm talking to that one. My dear friends, life is too short. Life is too short to have that sort of baggage toting around. Let us forgive and forget, and let us embrace each other as family and live in happiness. Especially now with this COVID situation, we don't know how and where and when it is leading to. While we have the breath of life, while we have the ability, while we have the opportunity, let us live together in harmony, in happiness, in togetherness, in love. Life is too short, my dear friends, shorter than you might imagine. Somewhere out there already there is a tree, a log, waiting to build your coffin. Isn't that frightening? My dear friends, we are responsible for our own actions, our own life, our own conduct. God has given us the ability to think and choose, think wisely and choose wisely. While we have the opportunity, while we have the privilege, while we have the options, It is sad to say that sometimes people behave in such an arrogant manner that it appears as if they come here to turn stone. Yes. They behave in such, sometimes they have a little place, a little position, a little authority, a little strength, a little good looks, whatever, and they feel, well, they're on top of the world. And the conduct and the behavior leaves a lot to be desired. We must understand, my dear friends, that we're here for a short time and we should live in harmony. One of the scriptures of Hinduism called the Ramayana, there are two principal characters. One is called Ram, which is represented as righteousness and God, and one is represented as Ravan, who is unrighteousness and Satan. And if we follow the Ramayana and we follow the life of Ram, wherever he went, he brought happiness, he brought joy, he brought peace, he brought love to people, and their hearts blessed him. And wherever Ravan went, he brought tears. Ravan had no respect for anybody, wife, daughter, sister, property, rights, nothing. Anything come to his mind, he would do. And if we follow the Ramayana, we'd realize that that way of life caused not only him to be destroyed, but his entire lineage, his entire family, his entire kingdom was destroyed. So the Ram and the Ravan is God and Satan, and we have to follow and make choices and decisions. And the choices and decisions we make dictates the direction of our life. I use a term just now that we are our best friends and we are our worst enemies, meaning that when we choose God, you see, when you choose God, you're always loving and peaceful and kind and polite and humble. And when you choose Satan, you're always ignorant and arrogant and looking around to see who you could attack, who you could hurt, who you could insult, who you could... That is a litmus test, my dear friends, that you could choose, you could test your own direction. That are you God supporter or are you Satan supporter? Are you doing the things of God and are you doing the things of Satan? But remember one thing, you are responsible for the consequences of your action. You are responsible for the consequences of your action. Meaning that whatever you do, you have to face the consequences. Hinduism teaches us that if you don't finish all your karma in this cycle of birth and death, when you're born again, you have to face the consequences of your karma. Karma pradhana vishwakara rakha. That, oh man, understand the principle of karma and understand the consequences of karma and whatever you do. Ek baar bolo Sri Krishna Chandra Bhagwan ki jai. At this time, I see my dear brother Dudu. I touched him just now, but he probably was. So I would ask my dear Bhai Dudu to give us a bhajan while the ceremony continues. Thank you very much.
Sitaram to one and all. Assalamu alaikum. Good morning, devotees of God and well-wishers and sympathizers of this family. एक दिन छूटी जाए संसार, एक दिन छूटी जाए संसार, एक दिन छूटी जाए। जिनकी लाख पर दीप बरत है, जिनकी लाख पर दीप बरत है, जटाऊ हाथ पसार, ओ जटाओ हाथ पसार, एक दिन छूटी जाए संसार, एक दिन छूटी जाए। राज रंग कोई कल नहीं चिन्हत, राज रंग कोई कल नहीं चिन्हत, सबकी खारत हार, ओ सबकी कारत हार, एक दिन छूटी जाए संसार, एक दिन छूटी जाए। वीर पुराना ग्रंथ बहुविधि पर, वीर पुराना ग्रंथ बहुविधि पर, कोई न पावत पार, हो कोई न पावत पार, एक दिन छूटी जाए संसार, एक दिन छूटी जाए। भवसागर में जीवन नया, भवसागर में जीवन नया, राम लगावे पार, ओ राम लगावे पार, एक दिन छूटी जाए संसार, एक दिन छूटी जाए संसार, एक दिन छूटी जाए। Thank you.
नमो परमात्मने नमः श्री कृष्णाय गोविंदाय नमो नमः. All who wish to pay their respects, you are invited to do so. Take, yeah. Okay, all right. Yeah. Okay. Om Sriyam Dware Mahaghore Deepadane Maya Haste Maya Diyate Upatishtam Tatsat Harihi Om Namaha Narayanaye Govindaya Vasudevaya Nanda Gopakumaraye Govindaye Namo Namam. Sri Krishna Kushalam Karotu Bhavatu Data Pradayani Tatsat Harihi Om Namaha. Om एक दिन हमें भी जाना है, ओ एक दिन हमें भी जाना है, जग चला जात है सारा इसका कौन ठिकाना है, एक दिन हमें भी जाना है. Meaning that एक दिन, one day we would all have to leave this world. And that, my dear friends, is a reminder how we live our lives. Today, in this family, there are a lot of sad faces because it is a situation where you would not ever see this person again. And therefore, it is a very sad occasion. Khoob mauj kar dekh tamasha, khoob mauj kar dekh tamasha, खेलयने को खेल, करनी है सो कर ले रे बंदे, करनी है सो कर ले रे बंदे, फिर नहीं आना है, एक दिन हमें भी जाना है. While we have the opportunity, while you have the privilege to do good, do good. Don't wait until it's too late, my dear friends. This is the reality of our existence. This is the reality of our life. Kauri, kauri, karke jori. Kauri, kauri, karke jori. Bhara khajana hai. Sang na jaye ja bande re. Sang na jaye ja bande re. फिर नहीं आना है, एक दिन हमें भी जाना है. The Bhajan says that handful by handful we build our empires, and at the end of it all we carry nothing. If we look at what is happening here today, the house, the land, the money, the wife, the children, grandchildren, nothing is of any value, any use at this stage in life. The only value is the karma. Ek baar bolo Sri Krishna Chan Bhagwan Ki Jai. So at this time, all those who wish to come and pay their respects, do so now.
Everyone, I would just like to interject very quickly. I would just like to describe the route to the cremation site. So we'll be leaving shortly from the home through Mara Road, then we'll go through Karapu. There will be a slight pause of the hearse and everyone in front of his parents' home in Karapu, and then through Kelly and then to the cremation site. Thank you.
knife. He tie strap down the mic. They got a knife.
खेलयने को खेल करनी है सो कर ले रे बंदे करनी है सो कर ले रे बंदे फिर नहीं आना है एक दिन हमें भी जाना है. While we have the opportunity, while you have the privilege to do good, do good. Don't wait until it's too late, my dear friends. This is the reality of our existence. This is the reality of our life. Kauri, kauri, karke jori. Kauri, kauri, karke jori. Bhara khajana hai. Sang na jaye ja bande re. संग न जाए जा बंदे रे फिर नहीं आना है एक दिन हमें भी जाना है. The Bhajan says that handful by handful we build our empires and at the end of it all we carry nothing. If we look at what is happening here today, the house, the land, the money, the wife, the children, grandchildren, nothing is of any value, any use at this stage in life. The only value is the karma. Ek baar bolo Sri Krishna Chandra Bhagwan ki jai. So at this time, all those who wish to come and pay their respects, do so now.
Bhajan. Bhajan happy.
I'll leave it here until you're ready for it. Okay, we'll be right here. So you
Everyone, I would just like to interject very quickly. I would just like to describe the route to the cremation site. So we'll be leaving shortly from the home through Mara Road, then we'll go through Karapu. There will be a slight pause of the hill and everyone in front of his parents' home in Karapu, and then through Kelly and then to the cremation site. Thank you.